Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we'll be discussing the first code of warm-up challenge, and let's see what the code is. So today we'll be discussing the sock merchant code, and let's say what the problem statement is. So basically here in the problem statement it is mentioned that there is a worker John who is working in a clothing store, and he has a lot of socks and he has to pair them. So firstly we'll see a pictorial representation of what the problem statement is. So we can see clearly here we have got three socks of black color, two socks of red color, two of green color, and one of blue color. So anyone can tell simply by glancing at it that we have got three pairs. So these two black colored socks will make a pair, and then we have got these two green colored socks. They will come together to form a pair, and then we have these two red color socks that will make a pair. So total we can say that we'll have three pairs, and these two socks will be of no use, so they won't basically make a pair. So instead of mentioning the colors, here what they have done, here they have put some numbers in an array, and we can see that there are some repeating numbers, like one is repeating thrice, then we have got two repeating thrice again, and then we have got three only ones. We have this array AR given in the problem statement, and different numbers represent different colored socks. So now we wish to count how many times a particular number is repeating, and let's see how we do it. So we'll be using an array that will count repetitions of a number using this part of the code. So let's see how it works. So we will traverse from index 0 to 5, and let's see what is the output. For AR index 0 we get 1, and when we put this 1 as index in repetition array, the index 1 gets the value at index 1 gets incremented by 1. So this value will change from 0 to 1, and then we have AR of 1 equals 2. So repetition of index 2 will be incremented by 1, which was previously 0. So this will again turn out to be 1. Now again moving on to the second index, the value at the second index is 1. So the repetition of value 1 is again incremented by 1. So the value at index 1 will be incremented by 1 again, and it will turn to be 2. Now moving to the third index, so AR of 3 equals 2. So repetition of at index 2 will be again incremented by 1, and this value would become 2. In the similar fashion, at the index 4, the value at AR of 4 equals 3. So repetition array at index 3 will be incremented by 1, and the value at index 3 of repetition array will become 1. For index 4, the value we have already seen, and for the fifth index, the value is 2. So the repetition at index 2 will be incremented by 1, and this value will turn out to be 3. So this is the final result, and here we have different number of times a particular number is repeating. So we can see very clearly that 1 is repeating twice, 2 is repeating thrice, and 3 is repeating only once. So here we'll be counting only those repetitions that are more than twice or exactly twice. So we will be only considering repetition at index 1 and repetition at index 2 for giving the pair, and not index 3, because the number is only appearing once. So we'll start writing the sock merchant function here. So this function returns an integer value, which is the number of pairs that are present in the pile, and it takes three arguments. The first argument n that is present here represents the number of socks in an array AR. The second argument is not much valid here, and the third argument is an array of integers, and it is describing an array which is containing socks of different colors in the pipe. So now we'll start writing the code. So we'll take an integer that will represent the repetitions. So we'll take a rep variable, which is an array of 101 integers, and this entire array will be made 0. So all the elements present in this array will be 0, and then we'll take up a pair. This will be initiated to 0 and a variable sum, and this will also be initiated to 0. So we'll use the sum variable for finally returning the total number of pairs. And why we have taken the size of this array to be 101, I'll tell you. So here we can see that the size of array, or the variables that it can contain, can range from 1 to 100. So since we have already discussed in the previous discussion that 0 will not be included in the repetition because no socks will be of number 0. So we are taking, that's why we are taking one extra here. So total size will be 101. And now we will do the iteration, and for that we'll use a for loop. And this for loop will start from I equals 0, and the condition variable that it would be checking here is it should be less than n, that is the number of socks present in an array, and it should keep on going till this condition becomes false. So further we would check the repetitions. For that we'll write this part of the code, rep ari, and as we have already discussed, so this will work accordingly, and it will count the number of repetitions of a particular number. And now we are done with this for loop, and now we will take another for loop which will do a condition check whether the number of repetitions is more than twice or exactly equals to twice. Since the total number of variables that are present in this array is 101, so we will make the condition to be checked here. It should be the index should be less than 101. So we could have chosen another variable in place of I here, but we'll choose I because we are declaring this in the for loop only, so it would not have any effect on the second for loop. So we can use I as well here, and then we will do a simple condition check if repetition value is greater than equal to 2, and this is corresponding to an index. If this condition is found true, then and only then we will make a pair, and we will count the pair by dividing this repetition value by 2. Then finally we will move out of this for loop, and not out of this for loop, but out of this if condition. So we'll put a brace here, and then since we are still in the loop, so brace is very important here. So now we'll write sum equals sum plus pair, because sum is initiated to 0. And so just before exiting the loop, we'll make the pair equal to 0. Now as to why we are making it 0, because pairs will be counted for all the different numbers ranging from 1 to 10, to 100. So this should be made equal to 0 whenever we are about to close this for loop and exit it. So now we are done with the function, and we have the total number of pairs in the variable sum. So now we are in the condition to return it. So now we'll return the variable sum. And now we'll run the code and see whether it works. So you can see that it is passing both the test cases. Now we'll submit the code and check it for the rest of the test cases. So it has qualified all the test cases. And thanks for watching this video. Do like, share and subscribe for more such videos, and please let me know your feedback in comment box below. Thank you.